Good afternoon and welcome to the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the home of the Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Trent Condon, I'm Emery Songer, and in just a moment, we'll have the matchup between the number 4 seed, Ankeny Hawkettes, and the number 5 seed, Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln Lynx in the Class 5A state tournament in volleyball here in Cedar Rapids. Right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea. And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action.
And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
If you want to save more.
If you want a butcher who knows more.
If you want fewer aisles and more value.
Less quantity, more quality.
If you want more of this.
And this.
And this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Hey, Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
At Casey's, we're here for early mornings and Friday nights. Here for the firsts and the traditions, through the good days and the tough times. We're here for the people who are here for each other. Casey's. Here for our town. Here for good.
Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each.
Here live at the U.S. Cellular Center, getting set for the 4-5 matchup in the Class 5A bracket of the Girls State Volleyball Tournament here in the U.S. Cellular Center. My name's Emery Songer alongside Trent Condon. And Trent, we're about 3.5 minutes away from the introductions of this one. Couple of teams that are looking to try to get themselves lined up against the top overall seed, Cedar Falls, who had to really work for it against Waukee, and a couple of teams that are pretty evenly matched on paper.
Yeah, certainly 4-5 matchup. These are normally every time you see these quarterfinals, you're going to get the best matches here, and certainly anticipate that. Ankeny playing in the powerful CIML. You know they're going to be battle-tested. Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln played themselves a very difficult schedule. Saw a lot of power teams and, of course, taking on many of the schools from Western Iowa. Let's take a look about how they got here, starting with the 5th seed, Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. The Lynx, 21 straight victories. Their last loss came way back in September 24th, as they fell at the hands of a very powerful Sergeant Bluff Luton team from up in northwest Iowa. This team leads Class 5A in kills this year with nearly 1,300 on the season. Also leads the state in blocks in Class 5A. And a big victory for them as they took down the defending state champions in Class 5A. Very powerful Ankeny Centennial squad with their victory in the regional finals. For Ankeny High, the Hawkettes come in here winners of 16 straight. Their last loss came back in September as well, as they fell at the hands of West Des Moines Valley, who will be playing over on the other court against Dowling Catholic. This team second in the Class 5A field with blocks with 345. and a straight set victory against Cedar Rapids Kennedy to get here to the state tournament. Ranked number 4, the number 4 seed Ankeny, and Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln here in the quarterfinals.
We're going to take a quick break and come back with your starting lineups for both of these teams. You are watching the 2019 Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Businesses are hiring DMAC grads.
DMAC's tuned into what the employers in the central Iowa area are looking for. They offer those courses and degrees in those areas that makes it very highly marketable.
A majority of jobs available just require the technical skills, the hands-on skills that you get with a 2-year degree. DMAC is more a model of the future because the students are employable right away.
I think DMAC does a great job of preparing you for life.
DMAC, life's calling.
Back here at the U.S. Cellular Center, our broadcast of the Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We are moments away from the start of this match, so let's go ahead. We're going to drop down to the floor. We're going to meet our teams in today's matchup. 4th ranked, 4 seed, Ankeny Hawkettes. The 5 seed, Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. The Lynx, winner of this matchup, takes on number 1 seed Cedar Falls on Thursday in the semifinals. Let's go ahead and go to our public address announcer for the introduction of tonight's teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's 2019 Girls State Volleyball quarterfinal matchup featuring the Ankeny Hawkettes and the Council Bluffs Abraham Lynx. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship and decorum shown by the qualifying schools during the season and its state tournament week. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Craig Egan of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serve as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Ankeny, Tom Day. And from Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln, Michael Lichtenberger. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's quarterfinal matchup. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln. Number 3, Brooke Boulders. Number 4, Haley Zona. Number 5, Kirsten Spurgeon. Number 6, Sierra Beeman. Number 9, Azaria Green. Number 12, Kerrigan Baxter. Number 13, Zoe Lutz. Number 14, Savannah Maisel. The assistant coaches are Kelly Baker and Chad Shaw. Number 1, the starters. Number 1, Elena Bonet. Number 2, Taylor Kiefer. Number 7, Julia Wagoner. Number 8, Kayla Schloman. Number 10, Sam Christensen. Number 11, Bailey Gears. Number 15, Jillian Shanks. Number 2 is the libero, Taylor Kiefer. And the head coach is Katie Darrington. Okay, now let's meet the Hawkettes of Ankeny. Number 2, Riley Johnson. Number 3, Mallory Luther. Number 9, Ava Reynolds. Number 13, Haley Grubb. Number 15, Lexi Stevens. Number 20, Olivia Harpina. Number 22, Hannah Bear. The assistant coaches are Samantha Sheldon, Bridget Holly, Kevin Andrews, Adam Jensen, and Michaela Rausch. Now for the starters. Number 4, Lauren Willett. Number 5, Malia Doherty. Number 8, Macy Wiedering. Number 11, McKenna Shy. Number 12, Isabel Boschek. Number 19, Beota Schrader. The libero is number 10, Casey Behrens. The head coach is Dave Wims. Your officials for this match. The first referee is Kurt Larkin. Second referee is Gene Denny. The line judges are Jody Bilenga and Kevin Vanderploeg. Let's play volleyball.
All right, so there you have it. The starting lineups. They are brought to you by Buena Vista University, located in Storm Lake, Iowa. Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. Trent Condon, I think we're ready for some volleyball.
I am ready to get rolling here. A long morning and into the afternoon. You got started with a 5-setter, and we very well could have the same here in this one.
If you expected that out of that Waukee Cedar Falls match, good for you.
First 2 sets didn't look that way, did it?
I mean, only 10 points put up by Waukee in the second set. You kind of felt like it was going to be Cedar Falls winning yet again. Waukee hadn't defeated the Tigers since 2011. Hadn't even taken a set from them since 2013. So to watch them battle back over and over way to start a state tournament, and I'm sure both these teams watch that, know that Cedar Falls, they are not the invincible monster they may appear to be on paper. Waukee was able to illustrate that so greatly here at Court 1 before they came onto the court here. But you can't be looking ahead because the opponent across the net from you is going to be looking for that same exact goal here this afternoon. Let's get it going. On our left-hand side is going to be the Lynx, the number 5 seed. They're wearing those red uniforms trimmed in white. They have the blue shorts on the other side for the Hawkettes. They are the number 4 seed wearing the white uniforms with the maroon trim, and they got some gold on the trim numbers as well with those maroon numbers. A sharp look. These two teams, on the other side, that Pleasant Valley Liberty game that we had, they were both wearing basically the same grayish uniforms. It was tough to discern which team was which, unless you were paying attention to the student sections after each point. Here, we will have no such issues, folks. Even the liberos are looking a little bit different.
I like that. Makes it a little bit easier for us up top here as we're looking down. and what should be a great matchup. You mentioned Council Bluffs, Abe Lincoln talked a little bit about their schedule. You know, they haven't been in a deep match in a while. Something to keep an eye on if this thing does go 4 or 5 sets.
The first serve is on the way, and here we go. The Hawkettes are going to be setting it to the far side. A block poked back over, able to field it. Far side, big swing, nice dig right there by the libero Kiefer on the back line for Ankeny. To the back row here, an opportunity, and again, a nice dig there by Behrens. Look at these two teams digging it out here on the first point of the match, and then dunking it home for the first point. Excellent job. That was Fiona Schrader. Fiona Schrader able to pick up the first kill of the match, and a good start defensively for both of these teams.
Well, and Schrader's a very interesting player. She plays up around the net. She'll set it up, but very tall for a setter. Excellent at the net. She is an all-around dynamo for the Hawkettes.
Good serve, but Abe Lincoln able to do something with it. And then last minute, great communication there as Behrens was able to talk Isabel Vacek out of the way of that particular shot. Got out of the way last moment, and it was about 2 inches outside the line for a point.
Little Olay getting out of the way and getting the point.
Here's another serve, the big left-hand swing by Schrader. Big swing to that far side, cross court, set up beautifully, and the finish, Bailey Gears.
Gears just a sophomore, but one of the most efficient players you're going to find. Outside hitter, hitting nearly 400 on the year.
She is immediately back to serve. A little bit of a trot up. Puts it back. Behrens fields it. It's going to be set near side. Big swing. Partially blocked. Kept alive off the top of the net. Two-hand push across, but it's going to be a double hit. And the point to Ankeny. They lead it 3-1.
Hey, you can see they're just timing a touch off and then trying to push it across. Got the double contact and the point back for the Hawkettes.
Yeah, the junior middle hitter, Kayla Schliefman, was the unfortunate guilty party there. Another big serve coming from Scheib. And this one off the top of the block. This will drop. No problems there. And another good swing and attack. Elena Bonet.
One thing you'll see with both of these teams is they have a number of hitters that they go to. Some teams you'll find at the state tournament, it's just 1 or 2 girls. Very deep outside and inside hitters on both sides.
Here's another big swing. This one is going to come right back where it came from after Christensen with a good dig. Another big swing. This one not so good on the dig. Isabel Vacek.
Shanks was there, but a powerful hit. Nothing you can do about that one. She was in good position. Just too much power from the Ankeny side.
Man, you want to talk about free swinging there.
Yes. Line it up.
4-2 here, Hawkettes with the early lead. First set just underway in this quarterfinal matchup. Kiefer able to field it. Quick set, poked over, that time by Schleifman. And another put away, this time coming from the opposite side. Riley Johnson. You got to love early on establishing multiple players you can put away some points. Riley Johnson there on that far side, a senior. Made no bones about that one either.
Came in 123 kills on the season.
Here's the set. A little bit of miscommunication running up. Bonet just has to bump it over. It's going to be a little running set, and then straight back at Kiefer out of the middle. This time, Macy Wiederin, another senior, this time out of the middle. She hit less than 200 here, but she is certainly going to be utilized in that offense.
Saw Kiefer bet on her heels on that one. Got to be ready. Very powerful Ankeny team.
Tried to field that overhand instead of putting those hands underneath. It never really gave herself a chance. Here's a little run up. Well, tough touch there, but fielded cleanly by Behrens. And they're going to say net was touched on the Lynx side of things. Ankeny will be the beneficiary again. A quick timeout going to be called here by Katie Darrington in a 7-2 match at this point. Let's go ahead and we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have more. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Company Championship Network. Seven to 2 in the early going. Ankeny leading the Abraham Lincoln Lynx out of Council Bluffs. Anything that you see the first 9 points so far?
Well, yeah, we talked about kind of the step up in competition here for Council Bluffs. Abe Lincoln, and you're seeing that early on. Played in the CIML. Ankeny, game in and game out, set in and set out. They're ready for this one. Got to get your footing a little bit if you're Abe Lincoln.
Mallory Luther set up, puts it in play. Received by Taylon Kiefer, the libero for the Lynx, and this one going to be put off a block. Elena Bonet with her second put away so far of this match. And you mentioned it, they only have 3 losses, 38-3 for Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, only good enough for the 5 seed still. Losses this season in a best of 3 to Valley, a best of 3 to Marshalltown, and then lost to Sergeant Bluff Luton in the only full at best of 5 set match they lost all season long. And this one awkwardly off the block attempt by Schliefman, and it's going to go down as another point for the Hawkettes. They keep this handful a little bit of arm's length here. Credit for the kill to Malia Doherty.
Hey, you look at common opponents. Both these teams drop matches to Sergeant Bluff Luton, who is in the 4A field. We'll see a little bit later today. Dynamite program.
Out of that back row, they're going to go to Bonet once again. That was a tough dig, but they're going to say double hit on the second hit. It was a good dig out of that back row on the attempt by Willits, but unfortunately for Ankeny, just unable to get a clean legal hit on the second attempt to get it over the net, and credit Bonet with another point. Going to go with a little cross-court action, a little bit long. They thought it was tipped, and the officials do not agree with Macy Wiederin.
Wiederin right away went after that one. Thought she saw the tip there, and it wasn't just her, but a bunch of the teammates there. Perhaps a miss, an advantage for the Lynx.
Or maybe she might be a little bit biased as well. A little bit of a run-up, push back to the back row. It's going to be a pass from the libero Kiefer, far side, trying to put it in the back row. Mallory Luther is there. Neither side really an opportunity to put this point away yet. Now coming up, running up onto the net, having this one taken away, Julia Wagner. And this tip, Wagner keeps it alive off the block. Far side, set up. Shanks, long, point Hawkettes.
Just missed on that back row, but early on we've seen a lot out of the libero, Casey Behrens, for Ankeny. She's played at a high level, and now back to serve.
And she's not afraid to go to the front to help make digs as well, which is something some liberos kind of let other players take those. She has not done that to this point. She's going to take charge once again here. Here's the pass. Far side, the block is taken off the attempt from Shy. Here on the near side, they're going to try another good block, and it's going to be a point on this near side. Sam Christensen, Julia Wagner, you couldn't ask for a better tandem block 2 times in a row.
Showing the defense early. They're very aggressive up front, and they're going to be bringing multiple blockers anytime they go to the outside.
Here's a serve to the back row, a little off balance. That allows, however, Fiona Schrader, the setter. She is a tall setter at 6 feet even. Usually you see your players 5'10" and up. They're going to be attackers, but she has the ability as a tall player to have those little dunk attempts on those passes from the back row that kind of sit over the top of the net. She's not going to lose many jousts.
And she can also go up there and play on the outside. Very efficient player, playing all levels.
The rejection from Isabel Vasek. Put that right back where it came from, landed in the lap of Wagner, and it's 11-6 Hawkettes, and another serve here for Malia Doherty. Doherty just steps into it, puts it in play, a little knuckler, going to be set up. Here's the near side. Lollipop to the back row, no problem. The set from Schrader, big swing. This one going to be a net violation. They're going to call that on Sam Christensen, and the point to Ankeny again. Every break going Ankeny's way so far, Trent.
Katie Darrington, the head coach for Council Bluffs, Abe Lincoln, trying to find some answers here. Has already used a timeout, trying to get her squad back righted.
They're going to the same spot again, right at Bonet. Good job staying out of the net that time by Christensen. This one going to be set in the middle, and just a hair long coming from McKenna Scheib, and the point to the Lynx, one that you felt like, Trent, that they were going to need to get themselves back into this match early on.
Rally scoring, it's just such a different way of playing, and you can't afford those long runs. Can't dig a hole early on. It's so tough to dig yourself out.
The serve coming from Jillian Shanks, received by the libero. That is Behrens, and then long once again on the attempt. And this is, we talk about efficiency. The way it's measured is an error is -1, and a point is +1. Errors are a huge part of this game. Sometimes that can help your team out, though, taking advantage of some of these errors. We're going to come to this near side all the way and put away hard. Isabel Vasek has had an excellent first set to this point, and Ankeny has a 13-8 lead.
Third kill already for Vasek. She's been playing outstanding. Went up the line that time. We've seen multiple times working towards the middle, now hitting those back corners.
That is 3 kills, so far for Vasek. She's going to go on. Actually, Schrader, that is going to be trying to put this one away. Good defensive scramble for the moment, but eventually it drops harmlessly out of bounds, and the Hawkettes off the Schrader serve expand the lead to 14-8.
Schrader back there, excellent at the service line as well. One of the tops in aces on the squad.
Yeah, it kind of comes at an angle, and there is your first ace of the match. These two teams, fans with every ace during this year's tournament, Adrenaline Fundraising will donate $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If you're interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraising a call. Schrader right back at it. Here's a set out of the middle, blocked. That was an attempt by Gears again. This to the far side, Bonet hits the pole on the outside. That's going to be a point for Ankeny, and you can kind of feel this getting away a little bit from the Lynx, and that leads to Coach Darrington once again calling a timeout. We'll step aside once again here live from Cedar Rapids. This is the Iowa Girls High School State Volleyball Tournament powered by the Mid-American Energy Company, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball, plus special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Ankeny 16, Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln. Can I call them CBAL?
I think so. I've seen it put that way in the newspaper.
CBAL 8, so Ankeny doubling them up. It's going to be another attempt by Fiona Schrader on the serve. She kind of comes at a strange angle with that left-hand delivery. That spin sometimes can catch some of the opponents off guard. We've seen it a couple of times already, including the first ace of the match we just saw prior to the timeout by Katie Darrington. Out of timeouts are the Lynx, I should say, so far for the first set at least. Schrader, another good serve. This one going to be another ace. How about that from Schrader? And again, I mean, right off the bat here, you got to love what you're seeing from this big lefty. And as mentioned, Adrenaline Fundraising, another $5 supporting future state volleyball events for the IGHSAU. And if you're interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraising a call. Schrader a little bit overzealous here, and it's going to be out on the service error, but I'll take 2 aces and an error if I'm Ankeny, leading by 8 points here.
And now this is danger time for Council Bluffs, Abe Lincoln. They need a run of themselves. They need to run off 4 or 5 straight.
Gears on the serve here for the Lynx. Nice athletic attempt there on the set, and that leads to a point from McKenna Scheib. What a set that time, kind of floating in midair, popping that ball back behind her was the setter, Fiona Schrader. 18-9. This attempt and then a miscommunication. Last minute, Julia Wagner got out of the way. Taylin Kiefer did not know she was going to be fielding that ball, hits her in the chest, and it's going to go down as another ace, this time for McKenna Scheib. So 3 aces and 4 service attempts by Ankeny here in this first set to open up a 10-point lead. Here's a kill this time from Kayla Schleifman, and Schleifman gets herself on the board.
Yeah, looking to go to the middle now, trying to get one of your bigger players out there. This Ankeny squad isn't overly big, but just so many different weapons they can go to. Good job by the Lynx realizing that, going to the middle.
Schleifman, one of those 6-foot-tall middle hitters for this Lynx team. Outside, and the rejection on the outside. This time, Elena Bonet will get credit for it. For 5 feet 8 inches, she also could get up there. She was as high, maybe even higher, as Schleifman was at 6 feet tall.
43 blocks this year, 360 kills. Outstanding senior year for Bonet.
Here's the set, Schrader right in the middle, little poke, and it's going to drop in an open space. Excellent recognition. Vasek once again picking up her 4th kill of the match. 20-11 now, Hawkettes with a 9-point advantage.
Well, and that's just somebody, another senior out there. Vasek's played a lot of volleyball, and you can see that. That's recognition, finding that open spot in the floor. Don't need to use the power every time. Little finesse.
Sometimes the butt hit also works as well as trying to swing for the fences. Here's going to be the set out of the middle for Christensen. That is a great dig out of the back row by Mallory Luther on the attempt by Schliefman. This time Bonet's not going to get cheated at all. She's going to go off the block and out, and eventually the Lynx get the point, but excellent dig in the back row there, and I have a sneaky suspicion that's going to be in the mix for our dig of the match.
Outstanding effort there on a powerful hit.
Julia Wagner on the serve. Another athletic set from Schrader. It's going to come right back where it came from, but they're going to give the point to the Lynx, as it's going to be over the net is where that ball was fielded that time. Trying to reach over was Macy Wiederin. By the way, that dig of the match is brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Back into the mix here on the near side. This is going to be Wagner putting it away, and the Lynx trying to keep themselves alive here. They were down by as many as 9, got it down to 6 here. A little 5-0 run, 6-0 run, put them right back in the match.
Chipping away, keeping themselves alive, and like we talked about at the top, the step up in competition feels like they're gaining some traction now.
Here's a easy serve, now out of the middle. A block is taken that time. Schleifman want to put it right back where it came from. No problem there. Kayla Schleifman. Right now, we talk about what she has done so far as Ankeny's going to burn their first time out, but she has been a factor here on this little mini run from the Lynx. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. This is the State Girls Basketball, the Iowa State Girls Volleyball Tournament from Cedar Rapids, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Company Championship Network.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Ankeny trying to hold on to this lead, led by as many as 9 here in this first set, but Abraham Lincoln out of Council Bluffs chipping away here. 20-15, a little bit of a timeout needed there from Dave Wims and his coaching staff. Talked to his team. Another serve here from Julia Wagner. Been on a little bit of a roll in this part of the rotation. We'll see if they can keep it up. Emery Songer alongside Trent Condon giving you all the action here. And there's, close to the line.
It was.
Impossible from our angle to really tell, but the line judge on this side, right down the line, made the call and said that was an inch out and point to the Lynx. That's a big pivotal point right here, keeping this possession alive, but then Wagner puts it about 2 feet long, and that will give Ankeny a reprieve for the time being as they lead at 21-16.
Dave Wims, using that timeout, had a retirement and said, you know what, I need to get back into the game, taking back over the Ankeny High program. Outstanding career, over 1,000 victories during his span as head coach at Ankeny.
That is a lot. 2 players went for the opportunity to put that point away. Wagner said no. Schrader said, let me try to get a kill here. Dug out beautifully by Kiefer. This dig's still alive. Look at the running attempt. Saved by Bonet. Schrader, where's she going to go? She's going to go behind her. Cross-court attempt. Kiefer is there, right up against the net. This is going to be a net violation. Tough break for Abraham Lincoln. It looks like they're going to try to get Sam Christensen on that. She can't believe it. She didn't feel the net. It would have been a point for Abraham Lincoln as it was put away by Schleifman, but man, what a point there for both teams.
Katie Darrington looking for an explanation over on the near side as the Lynx had started to gain some momentum. That was a tough one.
Well, and as you can tell after the service error there, that official is right up on the net. If that net moves at all and the ball isn't in the mix, if somebody's going to see it, it's going to be him. Here's Schrader, right in the middle, put away, powered down. That is Macy Wiederin, that senior, once again. We mentioned it, not the most efficient efficiency of this team, but she certainly is going to play a big factor, and now she has 3 kills in this first set as the Hawkettes 2 points away from winning the first set.
Playing that middle position at only 5'10", gives up a lot of height to a lot of players.
Here's a big swing from Wagner, not this time, and it's going to be played backwards by Benet. Well, set up in the middle, poked over, and both teams kind of trading right across the net. It's going to be set up, trying to push it down the line this time is Ankeny, not meant to be, as Wagner puts it right on the paint on the back line. That was close as well, but plenty of space back there. It was just a matter of time before one of the teams found that wide open area in the back of the court, considering pretty much all 12 players were playing within the 10-foot line on both sides.
Yeah, with everybody compressed up, a lot of room in that back row, Link's able to find it.
23-18, cross court. That one is wide. So the Lynx still hanging around here within 4, 23-19, but the Hawkettes still just need 2 points to win this first set. Serve from Julia Wagner. They went on a little run earlier in this match. Oh, look at that little attempt. You got to love a setter who knows everybody on the floor and where they're located, and that play by Fiona Schrader, has put Ankeny in a spot where they have 5 set points here.
One of my favorite setters to watch across Central Iowa this year was Schrader, just because the different ways she can beat you.
Set point, you're going to set it far side, swing attempt, and it's going to be a kill, this time from Jillian Shanks, the junior on the outside, went cross court just outside the reach of Casey Behrens, the libero.
Good diving attempt out of her, tried to pop it up, came back on a line though, nothing her teammates could do to help her.
And immediately Shanks goes back to serve. Right arm will put it in play. It is Behrens. Schrader in the middle. Off the block, kept alive by Kiefer. Out of the back row, Shanks going to try to put it in the back. Schrader going to pop it over. And a miscommunication puts it down. And that's going to end the first set. Ankeny, 25. Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, 20. We'll take a break. When we come back for the second set, Lynx are up against it. They're going to try to tie it when we come back. You are tuned in to the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Crowded lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a different place. It's where we break from traditional college to do what's best for your career. It's about teaching the way you learn, having fun along the way, and giving you the experience you need for what comes next. A job and an income in as little as 1 year. That's why you go to college in the first place. Southwestern Community College. Your career starts here. Check out SWIC's career-related programs at swiciowa.edu/yourcareer.
At Waldorf University, we are warriors. On campus and online. In the classroom and on the field. Our work today will power tomorrow, continuing a rich tradition started in 1903. And once you're one of us, you forever are. Waldorf University, we are warriors.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea.
And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action.
And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
If you want to save more.
If you want a butcher who knows more.
If you want fewer aisles and more value.
Less quantity, more quality.
If you want more of this.
And this.
And this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Back here in Cedar Rapids, getting set for the second set. Leaders start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. And in the past year, 112 Central College student athletes received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to be more than a spectator by visiting central.edu. Ankeny is going to get called for a double hit, and it'll be Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln picking up the first point of this second set. It is 1-0 in terms of the sets for Ankeny, 25-20 in that first set. My name's Emery Songer. I'm alongside Trent Condon, and it's the Lynx to put it back into play. Another miscommunication by Ankeny on the reception of the serve, but they're going to be able to put the point down. Finding space on that far side is Isabel Vasek. What an early portion of this game it's been for her.
Yeah, definitely. She's played at a high level there. Not the best looking play out of Ankeny, but they'll take the point. Abe Lincoln now settling in a little bit. This is an important set. Got to get this one, feel like, to have a chance to win it.
Service error there by the Hawkettes. That's what I was kind of saying in that last match. Cedar Falls got up 2-0, and you just felt like Waukee, to have a shot, they needed to split the first two. Now, they made a match of it, ended up getting themselves within a couple of points of forcing even more time as eventually the ball drops on the Lynx side here. But this is a little bit more an even matchup. You're not talking about a behemoth like Cedar Falls, but you still don't want to have to come back from 2-0 down.
You just have to put so much effort into it. It takes so much of you. And by the time, even if you force that fifth set, 15 points is very compressed there. You have to be nearly perfect after having to be perfect in sets 3 and 4.
Katie Darrington is getting an explanation from something, and now Coach Dave Wims on the other side for Ankeny going to try to also figure out what we're talking about.
Sportsmanship is the utmost to the players on the court. Let the players play. The referees referee. You fans be great fans. Cheer on both sides of the court. Thank you.
All right, so we had a Be Nice fans announcement. I don't know if that was planned or not, but eventually the Lynx come out. Teams trading points, the first 5 points here, and that goes as the 5th kill for Elena Bonet. Not bad. Not bad for a start for Elena Bonet. Big swing coming from the near side. Who else? Isabel Vasek.
You know, they've gone to Vasek a lot more than you normally see out of her, and she's playing both inside and outside, both that middle spot and going outside. She's played at a high level, and going to her often. Schrader finding her favorite target.
I mean, that is as big a swing as you're going to see. And what an excellent pass to set her up. Here out of the middle, Schrader's going to set it to the far side. That dig, good effort, but not to be for Sam Christensen.
You know, another thing playing here in Cedar Rapids, and for a lot of these girls, it's their first time on the hardwood. Even if the teams have been here, first time at the varsity level, playing at a high level. It is actually a lot more compressed than a lot of floors that you'll see both in high school gyms and some of the other places they play. Not a whole lot of room on each side and even going back.
This is going to be put away out of the middle. This time it's going to be Macy Wiederin who picks up the kill. Yeah, and that's the one thing that you notice when you get here. It is pretty compact in terms of width. There is a little bit of room behind you, but kind of visually and mentally, knowing that there are those tables and a couple of sponsorship cards that are back there as well, you kind of feel a little more constricted than you probably would just playing in your own gym. As this one is going to be lost again on the reception, and Ankeny has opened up a 3-point lead.
Speaking of what we were just talking about, the tight area over there, and get foot caught up in the net for Christensen. Able to tie herself out of there. You also got the students on top of you shouting down. It's such a different environment and a great environment for all these girls to get to play in.
Yeah, that balcony that these fans are kind of above it's certainly a completely different vibe, and it can get really loud because, like you said, the sound's really coming at you from an angle, especially on court 1, because you also have this third edge that's got a lot more people that can be seated than over there on court 2. 6-3 Hawkettes. Going to be a set here and pushed across by Kiefer. And on that far side, there's another big swing and another kill. And off to another good start is Ankeny here in the second set, leading 7-3, going on a little bit of a run on their own. This time, Malia Doherty gets another kill. That is 3 in the match for her.
Doherty playing outside, and this is what Ankeny will do to you. It's just death by 1,000 paper cuts. So many different players that they can go to.
That's a miss hit that time by Kayla Schleifman, and this time you feel like it's going to get a little bit contingent here on the Lynx. You can't make mistakes to begin with, but you're going to have to start putting points together because you don't want to fall behind to get another timeout going to be called here from Abraham Lincoln. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout with them and be back with more. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Corporation.
You better believe
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
Back here live from Cedar Rapids, it is the U.S. Cellular Center and the girls' high school volleyball tournament. It's something I want to mention just to keep an eye on it. We did have in the timeout the PA announcer once again kind of tell the students to be respectful to everybody, referees, players on the court. So you don't want that to become an extra storyline, but it could lead to some more delays if that continues to happen as the Lynx come out of the timeout exactly like they need to. And Schliffman again picks up the kill, and she's got 3 in the match.
Yeah, she's played really well in the middle there. Always a difficult spot as conversations continuing over on the sideline, looking to maybe calm some of the back and forth that is out there. You see the Ankeny students leaning over the edge there, pointing down. They're all wearing the alternate uniforms from the Ankeny Hawkettes, all wearing the boys in the pink over there.
A little bit of a spinner over the net. No problem just putting it straight back where it came from by Jillian Shanks, and the Lynx a couple of consecutive points, much like they needed after the timeout from Coach Darrington. That one not received well. Look at Schrader flying into the bench, and they're going to say
out of bounds. Made contact with that bench before she made contact with the volleyball. That's part of now we talk about kind of the rules in baseball and softball, also happens here at the state tournament.
She wanted to get some clarification, too. She came crashing into that scorer's table here on the near side. Great effort that time by Schrader, but it went all for naught. She's going to set it up on that far side off the top of the block, and caught by Taylon Kiefer, kept alive. Here's a swing off the top of the block, and to the other side, Casey Behrens, the other libero. Quick set opportunity, and it's going to end up being a good idea. Put away by the Hawkettes. Once again, we talk about the quick set, the vision that it takes when you're that middleman, if you will. And Fiona Schrader, as the setter, leads Ankeny in kills right now with 5.
4 straight out of the Lynx before that point. Important for Ankeny, gaining control here of the second.
Here's a set. Good, trying to go cross court. Great job once again by Behrens. And then cross court opportunity. Dug out of there nicely. Here's Shanks. Try to go near side. Schrader goes cross court once again, looking for Wiederin. Not this time again. The teams go back and forth. Schrader says, forget it, I'm going to try to full swing. Have you ever seen a setter take as many full swings on a second hit as we've seen so far from Schrader? And then it's going to be a kill this time on the near side. Credit Macy Wiederin.
Couldn't get the kill on that one, so Schrader says, I'll take the assist.
I couldn't tell you another 6-foot setter I have seen in high school volleyball, and rightly so. You see a lot of attackers that size. She's probably done plenty of attacking in her day, and she still takes some full swings on those second hits. Out of the middle, finding the space, Bailey Gears.
Defense a little bit slow to react there. Didn't get there in time. Couple of Hawkettes diving at it, but a good play out of the Lynx, and they continue to hang around here, giving themselves a chance.
2 kills for Gears. Served by Wagner. Out of the back, Schrader. Oh, my goodness, what a play.
No look behind the back. No, we're not talking hoops here. It's volleyball.
Now, see, you always think when you get that close to the net that the setter is just going to have to poke it over because there's no chance she's going to make a good pass trying to go over the net. And there she just knew nobody was behind her and just dumped it over with a little flick over the top of her head. Unbelievable stuff from Schrader. Cross court, little teardrop effort, and the dig attempt coming out of the back by Bonet is going to be wide. Like you talked about in that first set, don't always need the power.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you just need to know where the defense isn't. Hit it where they ain't, as they say. This is going to be the libero Behrens on the serve attempt. Coming out of the back is Wagner. On that far side, a big swing attempt kept alive. Doherty. Out of the back row is just going to be bumped over by Benet. Schrader, she's going to take a full swing, finds space, puts it down.
What makes it so difficult going up against a player like Fiona Schrader is just it's not a part of anything that you practice throughout the course of the season. A setter that can do the things, you saw it right there. Knew the defense wasn't going to be there, no blockers in front of her, and she's got the power to go along with it.
Trying to do the same thing there as the other setter, Sam Christensen, does about 5 inches shorter than her counterpart on the other side, Schrader. Schrader will set it up for an attack this time, but it is wide. That one coming from McKenna Scheib, so The Lynx get a much-needed point there as well. Trying to hang around here, but the Hawkettes again at arm's length pretty much in the entire first set, and so far here in the second set. They lead it 1-0 and lead it 13-8 here in the second set. Schrader sets it behind her. Off the block, kept alive. Christensen sets it to the back. Shanks still alive, the far side. A little poke, not enough depth on that one. An easy retrieval here by the Lynx. Back row, Willits, a good dig. This one dinked around right in front of the net. Both teams still keeping it alive in between the 10-foot lines, and then going for the big swing that time was Doherty, but that one was well long, and Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln again wins a long rally.
Need to get another one of those 4 or 5 point runs like they had before here, trailing by 4.
Here's Shanks on the serve. That last rally eliciting a "that was awesome" chant from the Abe Lincoln crowd. It is going to be Doherty. She's going to have a much more controlled attempt this time. Near side, Wagner. A little lollipop effort. A little bit of miscommunication. Who's going to take this one? It'll be Schrader. She pokes it into the back row. Nice diving stop by Kiefer. The attack out of the back. Shanks, not this time. Another long rally. Benet tries to set it to the far side, and she is going to get it accomplished as Barron's unable to keep it in play on the first hit. Another excellent rally between these two teams. We're starting to see that kind of the effort. We knew they were pretty even on paper, but the Lynx, a couple of great points in the last couple of attempts here.
Defense has really tightened up out of Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln.
Schrader leaves it in the middle. Down, no problem by Shibe. They left a huge hole in that back row, and she had eyeballed it the whole way.
Front row also didn't get there in time, didn't get over to put any kind of pressure at an easy free swing.
Substitution just happened there, and that's always brought to you by IMT Insurance. You can learn how you can worry. Let's try that again, Trent. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT. IMTINS.com. That ball hit long. It'll be Hawkette point, Hawkette serve. And those substitutions happening quick here in volleyball. All those substitutions, as always, brought to you by IMT Insurance. 15-10, I believe the score. I think they might adjust that down to 14-10. Unless I...
No, that was 15.
Point? Okay, it's 15. That's why you're here. I got to look at the papers. I got to move around. You know, it's a contentious job here, Trent.
You got a lot going on.
Here's a little back set and cross court. Good dig out of that back row. Keeping it alive is Schrader after the excellent dig by Doherty out of the back row. Here's Christensen. She'll set it up. Bonet. A little bit too short. Schrader puts it back. She'll set it in the middle, and another full hit. This one a little bit wide, though, from Shibe. Going to Shibe a lot here in the second set. Trying to get her going is Schrader out of that setter position. But a point to the Lynx, 15-11. They just cannot quite get over the hump, though. Gears will step into her right-handed serve. Schrader set up, back row Doherty. Into the middle, it'll be a kill. There's a big hole. It kind of umbrellas out sometimes where you have those blockers thinking it might be up front. They're kind of hanging around the net, and then you have that back row all the way to the back thinking if that is a front row attempt. I mean, there's just a lot of real estate in the middle that those back row defenders are going to have to cover if it goes over the blocker.
And that's, again, the problem going up against somebody like Fiona Schrader, just how good she is
Ace.
at that net.
The ace from Schrader on cue, Trent Condon. And once again, fans with every ace during this year's tournament, Adrenaline Fundraising will donate $5 to IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group is interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraising a call. Lynx going to pick up a point here right away because inadvertently an announcer jinx on the service attempt by Schrader, but it's still 17-12 in favor of Ankeny. Christensen, the other setter, going to put this one in play. Schrader going to serve it to the far side on the setup. Blocked right back where it came from. Schrader going to attempt to get it in that back corner. Nice save by Christensen. Here's Bonet. That's long. Point Hawkettes.
Well, Lynx got to get a stop here and get back into a rally scoring. When you get up into this range, when you're trailing 6, 7, 8 points, you have to get a stop right away just because how quickly it can get away.
The serve. Christensen led into the attempt. Pretty easy going for the Hawkettes. The Lynx having to really scramble around after that attempt. Schrader right up against the net. She didn't touch it, but the timing was all off as she tried to get it to Macy Wiederin, and that will set up Abraham Lincoln with another point as they try to work on this comeback trail. And sometimes that happens when that first dig kind of gets close to that net, it's hard for the setter to time up her touch. And, of course, all the attackers are timing their run up to the net with the setter. Wagner pushes it back across. It's going to be a bump pass from the libero, Behrens. Look, a couple of good digs out of that back row, and that's going to be in. What a little backwards one-handed fist from Schleifman.
Look what I found there. Just stuck a fist out and found the corner.
Almost hit that fairway court logo here in the bottom left of your screen. Well, what do you know? All of a sudden, a 4-point matchup here. 4 kills in the match for Schleifman. Back to serve is Bonnet. Hits the top of the tape. Again, Schrader trying to stay out of the net. Does. Sets up the kill. And another great attempt by the libero. Flying into the scoring table and the media table on the back end was Taylon Kiefer. Unable to save the point, though.
A little bit scary there, but Kiefer, she's just got a smile on her face. She says, I'm all right. Let's keep playing.
A lot of effort from both of these teams right now, but a big point there for the Hawkettes. This serve from Mallory Luther. Oh, it's going to be tough all the way back. Shanks does a good job just getting it over the net in a playable position. Far side. Look at the dig by Kiefer on the attempt that time by Doherty. Into the block, kept alive by Shanks. The set out of the middle to the back end. Look at Schrader rising up. The libero going to just pass it over. Far side Wagner. Look at that dive by Luther. Going to hit the tape, but nobody's there for Ankeny. Long rally again. This time the Lynx. It feels like the longer the rallies go, Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln has done a little bit better job of putting those points away.
Yeah, more of a scrambling type of team out there and use that athleticism in the back row. Kiefer, she's been all over the place helping out.
Kiefer on the serve here. Schrader, back set, flying up there on the attempt, but dug out nicely by Bonnet, and then the put down on the far side by Malia Doherty, and that makes it a 20-15 Hawkettes. And that, we talk about it as the substitution made here once again. Subs always brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Timeout on the floor, 20-15. Hawkettes the lead, looking to go up 2-0. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Corporation.
At Casey's, we're here for early mornings and Friday nights. Here for the firsts and the traditions, through the good days and the tough times. We're here for the people who are here for each other. Casey's, here for our town, here for good. Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each.
Out of the timeout, the Lynx needed to call one just to try to get the bearings about themselves. Long huddle. Coach Katie Darrington trying to get these troops rallied here as this second set slipping away from the Lynx a little bit. The Hawkettes a pretty consistent lead, about 5 the entire first set. They eventually won that first set 25-20. Hawkettes, again in the second set, about a pretty consistent lead between 4 and 8 or so. And right now it's a 5-point lead. The Hawkettes on the serve here. Back to serve and put it in play is Lauren Willits. Dug out by Bonnet. And a little teardrop. Behrens, no problem there. Out of the middle, an attempt to try to get the kill, and it will be a successful kill. So Macy Wiederin out of the middle once again. Schrader's done an excellent job of mixing it up with who she's trying to deliver and where on the floor she's delivering it as well. That is going to be the 5th kill, I believe, for Wiederin, and a 21-15 lead. Not necessarily insurmountable, Trent, but it's certainly starting to feel like the Hawkettes are firmly in control.
Well, this is what Ankeny will do to you. 4 different players already with over 4 kills so far in these first 2 sets.
Here's the set on that far side. Big swing. It hits the line on that far side. Freshly entered the game, Ava Reynolds, a sophomore outside hitter, on her first attempt of the match, goes right down the line and gets her first kill to give the Hawkettes a 7-point advantage.
Yeah, haven't seen a whole lot of Reynolds. She's played plenty this season, but making her state tournament debut and making it strong.
Shanks, Ollie pops to the other side. Back set, and this is Wiederin. Dug out. Christensen gets out of the way. Bonnet just long. It was close, but just long. And now it feels insurmountable now for Ankeny. 23-15, an 8-point advantage for the Hawkettes. And again, still on the serve is Lauren Willits. back in substitution here. Get a little bit more defense out there with the libero and Taylon Kiefer. A block comes right back down. They're actually going to say it went into the net. 4 hits on the Lynx, and it's now set point again for Ankeny. Willits trying to finish it off on her serve with a big run. Steps into it with the right hand. Put in play. It'll be Shanks in the middle. Poked up. Schrader in the top of the tip by Wiederin. And the Lynx aren't going to be able to even keep it in play. And the Hawkettes finish with, I believe, what was a 6-0 run to finish that second set. And they lead it 2-0, 25-20, 25-15. Trent, it's going to take an awful lot for Abe Lincoln to try to come back in this one now.
Yeah, absolutely. The most important thing as we get ready for the third, when we come back, they have to get out to a strong start. They've dug holes early on. Can't afford that. Got to get a little momentum on their side.
We'll be back with the third set. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Company Championship Network.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea. And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action.
And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
Des Moines. The yeses are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
Businesses are hiring DMAC grads.
DMAC's tuned into what the employers in the central Iowa area are looking for. They offer those courses and degrees in those areas that makes it very highly marketable.
A majority of jobs available just require the technical skills, the hands-on skills that you get with a 2-year degree. DMAC is more a model of the future because the students are employable right away.
I think DMAC does a great job of preparing you for life.
DMAC, life's calling.
It's the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Volleyball Tournament live from the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. A very unique venue, a unique state tournament. We just got underway earlier today. The Class 5A quarterfinals happening. We already have a couple of winners. Cedar Falls won the number 1 seed over Waukee in a 5-set thriller right here on Court 1 earlier. Winner of this match between Ankeny and Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln, will play those Tigers, and that will be on Thursday at 10 a.m. right here on Court 1. Right now, it's 2-0 in favor of the Ankeny Hawkettes, the number 4 seed, taking on Council Bluffs' Abraham Lincoln. Abe Lincoln, a very good team, haven't played the toughest of schedules, Trent, but they still are in it. Talked about it in the last match. There's no clock working against you. If you can string together some points, win this third set, you never know.
And we saw that before with 8-seeded Waukee pushing number 1 seed Cedar Falls to the brink here. Got to get out fast, though, if you're the Lynx.
The first hit is going to be out, this time an attempt for McKenna Scheib. Lynx get off to a strong start with the first point. My name is Emery Songer, by the way. Trent Condon is next to me. We'll be giving you coverage throughout the week here in the girls volleyball tournament, state tournament here at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. Schrader decides, I'm just going to try to put this away, but Shanks was right there, and now she's going to get an opportunity. She'll just push it over with 2 hands. Schrader will set it this time. Near side, big swing, off the tip, saved nicely by the libero, Taylor Kiefer. Into the back row, both teams go back and forth. These longer rallies have typically been kinder to the Lynx, but not this time. Nice little touch, teardrop. Isabel Vasek, she certainly has had a good match as well. Had 7 kills in the match, and she has been crafty with nearly every single one of them.
Good place for Schrader to go there. Schrader tried to go with the power, again goes back and gets the assist. And now back at the service line where she's been good as well until I said that.
It gets you every time, Trent.
It does.
You just wait till she hits it, and then you can say it if you're going to try to avoid that.
Apologies to the Schrader family.
Announcer jinx. My wife says it's not a real thing. It's absolutely a real thing. You will not be able to trick me into thinking otherwise. Here is Schrader, a little back set. This one off the top of the net from Scheib, kept alive. Shanks out of the back row, tries to push it to the back line. Schrader this time will come near side. Opportunity this time, and another kill. It is Isabel Vasek.
That Shanks a little bit too aggressive there. She was coming forward, then tried to get a hand on it, had a teammate back behind her. Those are ones so difficult. You're already going for it. A lot of times better just to let it go back, have your teammate help you out.
Scheib's going to be the server here. Two teams tied at 2 apiece. Set back into the middle. Scheib had no problem digging that thing out from Bonet. And into the net this time is Vasek. One of the rare errors we've seen from Vasek on the attack. And the last game we had a couple of players for Cedar Falls put up like 18 and 31 kills in a 5-set matchup. We haven't seen that. A lot of back and forth between these two teams, and they've gotten multiple players involved. But off of the block, there's going to be another kill out of the middle. Vasek, her 9th, and that creates another 3-3 tie, much like we saw in that second set. Early on, the teams exchanging points, but then it was a little 4 or 5 point run from Ankeny, and they just kind of kept it at that until they really finished strong with a 6-point run to get that 10-point win in the second set. Dugout, Kiefer, out of the middle, hanging in the air before putting it away is Kayla Schleifman.
That's where Schleifman's been so effective. It almost feels like here in the third, even set her up even more. Be aggressive, go to your middle, and see if that can be something that can put something into this tough Ankeny defense.
Man, she just hung in the air before she put that one away in the back line. Schrader, big swing, but blocked by Schleifman and Wagner. On that far side, Shanks, she finds a little bit of a space, but it goes right to the libero, Behrens. Bumped over, Kiefer. Christensen, there she is again, but this one just a hair long. They thought it was tipped. They're pleading their case. They're not going to get this one. Didn't look like it was tipped from our vantage point, but man, it almost looks like she is suspended in air. Speaking of Schleifman, as she waits for that ball to kind of come down into her wheelhouse. But that one just a little long, and again, teams continue to trade points. 4-4. Willits the serve. This one going to be a little bit wide from Schleifman. And sometimes that gets in your head as an attacker. So when you get a little bit erratic, you get a really good point, but once you go a little bit long, a little bit wide, you get a little gunshot.
And Schleifman, they're trying to move her around a little bit, that time coming from the outside, finding a way to get her going.
Shanks dug out nicely, a little combo dig between Behrens and Schrader. Who else? Back and forth we go. This off the tape. It's going to be a kill.
And those are the ones you just got to throw your hands up if you're Council Bluffs, Abe Lincoln. Frustrating. There's a mishit there. It goes off the top of the net and then falls over.
It was Doherty who picked up her 5th kill. That's now 5 players with 5+ kills in the match for Ankeny. Is this one long as well from the Lynx? And it's about the same time they opened up a little bit of a lead against the Lynx in the first couple of sets. And it looks like it might be holding true here. I think this is a huge point for the Lynx to try to stop the bleeding now. Kiefer, Christensen in the middle. Little tip, kept alive though on the back end by Willits, but then down in front of Bonet. Luther gets herself on the scoreboard for the first time, and now it's 8-4, and you kind of feel it shifting as we've seen the first 2 sets in Ankeny's favor.
And a smile on the face of Luther there. Not her hardest hit probably ever, but it works for her first kill of the match.
As long as you hit it where they're not. Shanks, the overhead reception. Bonet is going to bump it over. Behrens, Christensen cannot dig it out. And once again, Fiona Schrader on that second hit, so unpredictable. Is she going to set it? Is she going to try to attack it? She waits to the last possible moment, and she just slams her home. 9-4, Ankeny here in the third. While we're here, it is time now to announce our Casey's Player of the Match. And today the honor is going to go to Fiona Schrader of the Ankeny Hawkettes. She has put together an excellent match, both in the assist category and also with 8 kills. That ties for a team high. As a setter, it's impossible to kind of decide what she's going to do, and what a match she's had. A spectacular performance here from Fiona Schrader of Ankeny. Fans, Casey General Stores is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's player of the match. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Visit Casey's.com or the Casey's mobile app for easy ordering and specials. And once again, congrats to Fiona Schrader of Ankeny on being named today's Casey's player of the match. Still plenty of time, though. Maybe later on we don't think that anymore.
Yeah, it could change.
I have done that early enough to where the announcer's jinx could still be in play. But she's had a phenomenal match to this point.
She's been so good. And 3 aces. I mean, you mentioned some of the other numbers. Assist total through the roof. Just she can do it absolutely all. That's the other part about Ankeny, though. It's not like she's a one-girl wrecking ball. This is a deep team.
Here comes Wagner, and she finds the back line, and that's a huge point out of the timeout for Coach Katie Darrington's squad. So Julia Wagner gets herself her 4th kill of the match, but that was a huge one. And stepping out on the libero serve is Schleifman.
Katie Darrington making her state tournament debut as a coach. And she's done a nice job using those timeouts and seemingly every time kind of killing the rallies that have been out there out of Ankeny.
Here's going to be cross court. That one is long. Got to keep the energy up. Got to believe that you can if you're going to. We saw it with Joaquin. They thought they could. They never thought they were out of it. And what a job they have done here, the Lynx, at least trying to fight back out of this timeout. The serve coming from the libero, Kiefer. The bump back into play. Schrader to Christensen. Kiefer's going to set it up. A little punch over by Wagner. Schrader, no problem there. They're going to set Schrader up again for the kill attempt, and she's got this one. There's 9. What setter do you know? Have you seen in Central Iowa, in the state of Iowa this year, that can be an effective passer, but also if the point is playing out properly, you can set her up as your outside hitter or your middle hitter?
I told you before, I've never seen a setter at this level play like her. She's just so different. And then she's left-handed on top of it.
Right, everything's strange.
It is.
Coming out sideways is Wagner coming out of the back row, right on that 10-foot line, makes an excellent swing and gets herself her 5th kill. But, I mean, that's why we talk about Schrader being such an invaluable piece. The serving as well. I mean, she's been an excellent server. Talk about the 3 aces. That's a game high. Serve here from Wagner. Look at that. I mean, the running sets, she's accurate with the sets. I know that hit that time from Malia Doherty was out, but she ran 20 feet to get her hands on that ball, came flying by, and still had a perfect set lining up Doherty, so she had an opportunity to put the point away. 10-8, though. Lynx still hanging around here for Abe Lincoln. And this one going to be put into that back line. Nobody home.
Schrader going to be playing her volleyball. Still another season after this one for her, but she'll be moving on to Notre Dame, as she has made her verbal commitment. One of the national recruits, and that's something we see in the state of Iowa. You know, we talk about other sports, but volleyball, just the D1 players we get in our state year after year, and another one with Schrader.
At all levels, really. Schrader going to team with Scheib there on the block. Scheib, I think, got most of that one, and that's a huge point as well for Abraham Lincoln to lose because they had pulled it within 2 points, but then immediately 2 more points scored by the Hawkettes to get it back out to some breathing room at 12-8. And not a great reception there trying to step in was Bonet, and Doherty is going to get credit for the ace. And once again, as always, your aces brought to you by Adrenaline Fundraising. They're going to donate $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events for every ace in every match here at the state volleyball tournament. If your group is interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraising a call. This one out of bounds from Ankeny, and a point to Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. Still within 4 here, Trent, but you feel like they got to get over the hump and at least tie this match before Ankeny gets close to that 25-point threshold.
Absolutely. And the thing that I've loved watching about this Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln team is throughout this one, smiles on the faces, very positive. You can feel that positive energy, just hanging around and waiting for that chance. Got to make it happen now, though.
Service error gives it right back to Ankeny, and it's going to be Fiona Schrader. The lefty kind of comes at a little bit of an angle, puts a lot of spin on that ball. Look at that thing sink. And far side, there's the biggest swing we've seen from Elena Bonet since the first set. That one, all power, gets the kill. That's number 7 for her, which is a team high for Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, and it's 14-10. And an opportunity here maybe to get some going with Bailey Gears to serve.
Yeah, you mentioned Bonet. She's
Great
been quiet
serve.
for a while. There's the ace.
Another ace, powered by Adrenaline Fundraising, donating $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. And if you're interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, once again, give Adrenaline Fundraising a call. That one sank right in front of the libero. Casey Behrens couldn't draw that up any better. Here's Bonet again. This one a little bit too much arc on that one, ends up going long. And again, Ankeny a reprieve on what is a hitting error.
Just what they needed to kill what felt like a little bit of momentum being gained out of the Lynx, and got to get a stop. Down to 10 points to play with. Lynx got to be nearly perfect.
This one popped into the air out of the back row, and that one is airmailed by Bonet once again. I like the aggressiveness. You can't stop being who you are, but without that forward momentum, about 12 feet away from the net, that is a tough ask for Bonet to try to get that one in with the power she put on that. Here's Christensen. Again, the fly high by Schleifman, this time dug out by Ankeny, but out of the back row, it's going to be put long by Scheib. Much needed delivery of the point there for CBAL. Christensen. It's going to be an overhand reception by Behrens. Block right at the net. Both teams just kind of punch it back at each other. Christensen back set. Dumped over by Wagner. And just bumped over by Riley Johnson. Fielded by Kiefer. The set. Nice athletic set going cross court here was Bonet. Not this time. And then off the top of the tape and down. Another kill by Malia. No part of that's Riley Johnson.
Seen that a couple of different times. Ankeny, the tape working in their favor here today.
Riley Johnson, my mistake. That's her first kill. Gets herself on the scoreboard. 17-12 Hawkettes, and again, just kind of keeping it in that same spot, that 5 or so point spot, not letting the Lynx get any real hope. Johnson digs this out, into the middle. Little lollipop, and the timing all messed up there. Great play that time by Macy Wiederin, who just basically poked that into the air long enough to where the defender was coming down before she was able to get a hand on that. 18-12, we'll step aside. Ankeny will look to try to finish it off when we come back, leading 2-0. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Corporation. Third set, Ankeny 18-12 lead over Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. If Ankeny wins this set, finishes it off, they will be moving on into the semifinals on Thursday morning to take on top seed Cedar Falls. Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln trying to keep their season alive. As we've mentioned, however, Trent, they have not been able to get over that hump. They got within 2 earlier on this set. It was 10-8, but Ankeny was able to kind of clot that wound a little bit and have not looked back since, keeping it at that 4, 5, 6 point range.
Looking to go to Schleifman.
And they did, but it was blocked right back down and right in the middle. That time was Macy Wiederin.
Wiederin teaming up there with Reynolds, who we saw insert a little bit earlier.
This is the largest lead of this set for Ankeny at 19-12. Good serve, just kind of hung in the air there. Schleifman's going to have to just bump it backwards. Schrader, where's she going? She's going behind her. Had to stop a little bit, did Riley Johnson, but did get a good swing on it. Comes right back over. Johnson from the 10-foot line again. Christensen digs it out. The bump. It's a flat-footed hit over that time by Wagner. Behrens bumps it up into the air and finding space in the back row. Lauren Willits. So a few different players. Actually, Johnson again. It's hard to see her uniform. She's got all wrinkled up in the front. I can't quite tell who that is, but Johnson a couple of kills here. We're going to get a quick substitution. 20-12 is our score, and our substitutions in today's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Senior Haley Grubb getting some playing time. Chance to serve it up at the state tournament.
Wagner back over. It's going to be a swing from the back row. Kept alive. Christensen back set. Wagner again. This one will drop, and Be a point for the Lynx. Got to roll like 5 or 6 in a row here, you think, to give yourself a realistic chance, and neither team really has done that except for the way that Ankeny was able to finish off that big second set win. Bonet serves it up, dug out, kept alive. Big right-hand swing this time on the near side. Nothing doing. Back row, another dig. Schrader keeps it playable. Both teams, players flying all over the place, trying to get themselves lined up. No real big swings until right then, and into the stands as Haley Grubb unable to keep it in play. And like, you got to take it 1 point at a time. If you win 1 point 6 successive times, you're going to be right back in this match.
Yeah, there are no multiple points in volleyball. You got to do it one at a time.
Grubb digs out the serve from Wagner. This one up close to the net, and Johnson really couldn't get her timing figured out. We'll see.
There's 3 of them pieced together.
Still down by 5, however. We'll see how long Coach Wims is going to try to let the girls figure it out here. They do have that 2-set cushion and still up by 5. So Bonet, once again, will put it in play. Grubb out of the middle. Set up. Ava Reynolds, no. Schrader, this time in the middle. Going to be close to joust, but this time Wagner kind of didn't know how close she was to being the net. She thought she was closer than she was and ends up coming up short on that little tip-over attempt. Substitution as Willits comes back into the game. 21-15, Ankeny with the advantage. Willits serves it up. Shanks. Here, long run that time, but Ankeny able to eventually to get a good swing on it after the Schleifman attempt. Coming from the back row is Shanks. Not that time. Near side Wagner to the back row. Grubb a good dig, but this one going to be into the net. Unable to do anything with that was the setter, Fiona Schrader. And the Lynx still hanging around. Wagner's going to get credit for her 8th kill there. And now with Kiefer serving, you get 2, 3, 4 more points here. You can't write them off yet. Grubb, Schrader, near side. Little dump attempt. Christensen was there. Shanks on that far side goes cross court. No problem there for Barons. Another big swing on this near side, and it will drop off of the block by Ava Reynolds. The sophomore gets herself back on the kill sheet, her 2nd of the match. And it's now 22-16. If you're Ankeny, absolutely you can trade points at this point.
Fine with that. They just need 3 more to move to the semifinals.
The serve from Barons. Shanks far side, wide. You got to give credit to Dave Wims as a little bit of a mini run put together by Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln. He did not panic and let call timeout, let a little bit more energy kind of get infused into that Abe Lincoln huddle, and now his team is retaking control, leading by 7 here, just 2 points away. And that's going to be an ace in the back row coming from Barons. Miscommunication, they let it go. And that is a service ace brought to you by Adrenaline Fundraising, who donates $5 to the IGHSAU for state volleyball events. Match point for the Hawkettes. That's just long. Kept alive. That time they did.
Back corner trying to find
one more ace.
Where it comes together, just missed.
Now it's up to Julia Wagner. Still 7 points down, needing to keep their season alive. It is received by Shive, set by Schrader. Near side Reynolds, long.
Going after everything, not letting anything hit the ground, aggressive all the way through. How you have to play if you're Abe Lincoln.
Wagner again on the serve for the Lynx. Knuckleball received by Willits. Back set, Shive off the block. That's the match. Ankeny moves on, 3-0. 25-20, 25-15, 25-18. 6th kill of the game for McKenna Shive puts the Hawkettes into the semis.
Great effort out of Ankeny. Now they get their 2nd matchup of the year with Cedar Falls coming your way on Thursday morning. Played early on in the season. Cedar Falls took that one 2-0 during a tournament, but Ankeny certainly probably a different team than they were at that point in the season. Coach Wims making his way back, trying to get settled a little bit. I think you're going to see a great effort out of the Hawks come your way Thursday morning.
Yeah, as mentioned, Thursday, 10 a.m. right here on Court 1. Cedar Falls 42-1. Ankeny now moves to 37-5 on the season. We have, at least at this point, a little bit of chalk on this side of the bracket. And like you said, there's a lot of different pieces in this Hawkette team that should make that a very intriguing matchup on Thursday morning, as the trophy presentation here going to be given to Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. No skin off their season whatsoever. Excellent season for head coach Katie Darrington and this program. And you have to feel good about the way that this season has played out for this team, coming from Western Iowa and making the trip over here to Cedar Rapids.
No doubt on the path getting here to the state tournament, beating the reigning champions in Class 5A in Ankeny Centennial, getting to play in Cedar Rapids in this great venue. A lot to be happy about. First appearance for Katie Darrington in her 4th year at the school. You can tell a program certainly building to good things. A proud program. Their 14th state tournament appearance didn't end the way that they wanted, but there's only one in each class that ends the way they wanted to.
Absolutely. Final score for this quarterfinal matchup. Ankeny, 3-0 over Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. Ankeny moving on to the semis, taking on top seed Cedar Falls on Thursday morning. On behalf of our color analyst, Trent Condon, and our producer, all of our entire team here in Cedar Rapids at the U.S. Cellular Center, I am Emery Songer signing off. Thanks for watching our live coverage of the 2019 Girls State Volleyball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.